The tree projects is Jen and I, and we do tree stuff, and it takes many forms.
I remember when Steve and I first got together, his way of courting me was sending me pictures of all these beautiful trees that he's found. So. Still got a long way to go, Steve.
Would have taken this tree a couple of 100 years to get where I am now, so no rush.
Oh, that's no excuse.
What we've heard here tonight is that we've got this amazing patch of forest that we've called the Huon Valley Grove of Giants, and it's a logging crew, which is absolutely appalling. This Grove of Giants is the largest patch of old-growth blue gum trees that we have left in Tasmania. These massive trees store lots and lots of carbon, and we're actually going to do a really comprehensive study of this forest.
Back in 2018, we were climbing a giant blue gum about a kilometre away. While we're up there in that tree, I could hear like the chainsaws going and then like thunderous like whoosh, whoosh. And I just saw this on the edge of the logging coop.
Seeing how horrible this is, and then you've got the forest behind it, which is beautiful, and it would have been exactly what this was like before. But knowing that that's actually going to be logged next year, you can't not do anything about it.
It's no secret, this land holds an ancient presence, not just Aboriginal people, but just how old the landscape is and what it's actually been through, the resilience of it. When we see the big gums fall, we know that they've spent time seeding off, and when they fall in the right time, their offspring will take up the mantle. So there's a system in our country. Unfortunately, the big agencies don't look at that system. They look at land and go, this is an asset we can make money off.
A couple of months ago, I actually met with the leader of the Labor Party, and I made a mention of the fact that we're still logging old growth forests and high conservation value forests. And she pulled me up mid-sentence and she said, no, that's not correct. We're not doing that in Tasmania. That all got cleared up with the Forest Peace Deal. All of those forests are protected now. And I was just absolutely flabbergasted that you have like the leader of the opposition party that reckons we're not logging old growth forests. And I almost like broke down in tears on the spot. And it just made me realise that we actually have a lot of work to do. If our political leaders don't think we're logging these forests, then there's probably a whole bunch of people out there that think the same. And so we're in the process of launching this campaign using the Grove of Giants as a centrepiece.
The best thing we've been doing is actually just being, like, in a chemical context, a nucleation point. Like, rain won't actually form unless there's like a little particle of dust for the moisture to attach to, then it becomes too heavy and falls. So we're just like this little speck of dust.
We're the dust.
We're the dust, and there's all this latent energy around us.
Yep.
But as long as we can provide the tiniest amount of structure and like push a project out there, like people want to do cool shit.
Well, that's it. We're just really lucky that we have all these wonderful people to volunteer for our project.
The plot is here.
Right, yep.
The plot's right here. The boundary trees aren't included in the plot, but these kind of nice ones through there, they're included, and basically everything's back.
So Yada Wacha, Palingina, Mina Mapali, Miladina, Malakiti people. So hello and welcome to the land of the Malakiti people. It's really important that we acknowledge our old people and let them know reasons are why you're here. We're not here to harm, we're not here to take, we're here to protect and try to preserve this ancient landscape.
So guys, this one is tree, let me check, This one is tree 4.
This is a giant tree. This is not standard at all. Like Queensland, we do get some big trees, but not like this. It's a long way up.
When researchers are surveying for carbon, they measure the DBH, so the diameter at the bottom of the tree, and then they just estimate the height, and then they just assume that that tree's a giant cone. As you can see, that this tree here is more like a giant column. This is what's so unique about this study, is the fact that we are going to be getting climbers to tape wrap and actually measure the structure of that tree properly. And so we're going to get a much accurate reading of carbon. As well as doing the big trees, there's a lot of carbon still in the understory, and that's going to be broken up into a few different components. So you've got what's called the living carbon, and then you've got all the stuff that's dead on the floor. And then you've got the third component, which is the soil carbon.
The study that we're basing the rest of the ground surveying on doesn't include soil, and often studies will actually say soil carbon was not included because of the difficulty of, acquiring these measurements, because it is quite time consuming and you do require some special laboratory equipment. But the fact that we're going to the effort to actually do this is quite exciting, really.
I don't know what's what. Woo! Fun, isn't it? Jeez.
So the top of it's like here, so to be, what does that say?
238 centimetres.
Yep.
And no rock.
No rock. Yep.
I'm always keen to be involved with this kind of stuff. Through my work as an arborist, I've learned to love and appreciate trees. Is there anything I can do to help retain as many as possible, especially for future generations? I'm not nearly there. I'm not even to the top of this thing.
Part of the job is actually learning other ways to quantify this space, so that people that aren't familiar with how beautiful it is or how epic the trees are or don't like climbing can understand it in their way.
What you say? Team Dingleberry with the DBH measurement.
Go ahead, Dingleberry.
That is 14.1 metres.
14.1 metres at the DBH.
You stand in this part and it's really confronting what happens. We come here knowing we were going to have fun, but the reality kicks in sometimes and it can be quite challenging mentally. You can't help but feel like you have some sort of responsibility for what happens here.
I've spent weeks crunching numbers and doing data entry, but I got there. I got an answer. And we have the highest recorded forest carbon for any forest in Tasmania. So yeah, we broke the Tasmanian record, which is really exciting. So the next steps now is I have to go through the arduous process of writing this up into a scientific paper. And once it gets published, then we can kind of announce it to the world and then go to STT and other agencies and say, look what we have, this is awesome, maybe you shouldn't log it. So I think what we found here is something that's quite remarkable. We've got the most carbon-dense forest in the whole of Tasmania. This really needs to be recognised and protected. Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
If this area was protected, you know, we wouldn't come back. We'd go to another patch of forest that, you know, needed as much help as what this one does. So while we talk about carbon, while we talk about big trees, let's not forget that these places have an intrinsic right just to exist, and they have a right to exist without us.